Good morning, everybody. Well, I hope you're having a really great day. I just started mine as far as painting. I've been up way before that, but just started painting, and I'm still using these new paints that I was given called Taotree. 100 different color watercolor paints. They've been interesting so far, so I'm thinking I'm going to stay working on this this picture here that I started yesterday. So let's grab another green and let's go over here. This time I'm not going to wet the paper. They remind me, it's kind of interesting, they remind me a little bit, for some reason, of the jelly gouache when I was using the jelly gouache. And they're really, quite nice paints for the price especially. I don't know that I would have paid the price. I mean, they told me, I asked them what it cost, and they have the Amazon Prime, so it brought it down a lot, but I'm not sure. I'm still in the debate of whether I would have paid full price, because they're very good. They're very, very good paints here. They work well. There's so many colors, I'm just still getting used to them, so I'm not making any formal judgment except that I like them a lot. They work nicely. They go on the paper nicely. This is hot press paper that I have here. And I'm just putting some different greens in there right now, putting some veins, which you can or don't have to. It doesn't matter. I do know that using them straight out of the container certainly has a lot stronger pigment than watering them down. So they have, a much stronger pigment that way. But of course, all watercolor does. So that's not anything different, really. But I am enjoying them. They have like an interesting way of their own. I mean, they work just like watercolor. And see, I love hot press paper, by the way. I do both, but I really love hot press paper. It's like literally like you're painting on pudding, or just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a very nice, and excuse my voice, folks, it's morning, so we have to deal with my voice. Every morning we get this, but it soon dissipates, usually. Not always, but usually. So you see, that's quite pretty. And I'm going to put another with very little water, not wetting the paper. I'm going to add this green. And then I can take a little out and come back into another, mix them up a little bit. And see, now that's a pretty pigmented one. That's nice, and we'll soften it up a little bit. We can add some of that color into here. I mean, it's so smooth working on hot press paper. First time I ever got it, it was like, oh, that's it. That's my paper for me. From here on out, but I do use others when I run out of it. But let's go back here to this pretty, I think it was this color that I used. I'm not positive, but it'll work anyway. Part of this flower. Well, I hope life is treating you kind. Whatever's going on today, whatever today has brought into your life, I hope it's treating you kind. Now I think what I'm going to do is come down here and add a little dark, more on one side. Interesting paints. They kind of, that's why I say they almost remind me a little of of gouache, a little bit, you know, a little bit. We'll take out some color here on this side for some highlights. Then we'll come over and add a little yellow in there. I want one side to be a lot. I'm still, you know, checking these out. I'm still like figuring out, because there's 100 colors. So I'm like, and I discovered yesterday that there's also metallic paints in there. So, which was a pleasant surprise. So just kind of leave that one like that. And this little tray comes with it, so you can mix if you want to. I mean, I do it both ways, so you know, it's no big deal one way or the other. I'm not sure what this little doohickey thing is here that I that I drew. I don't know if it's a mistake or what, but we're going to make it a leaf because I really just don't even know what it was that I drew there. Sometimes I get these, I do these drawings, and then I come back to them, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, what was that supposed to be there? So, you know, being the artist that we are, we can just go in there and make it something else, right? Right. Okay, so I'm not sure what in the world. I have something that's, there we go. Again, excuse me, folks. I am really hoping that one of these days, no matter what I do, I have literally tried everything. So it seems to be due to allergies, which because of other reasons I can't take a lot of allergy medicine. So just something I have to kind of, you know, deal with every day. Could be worse. All right, and then I'm going to go back into the into this color here. And that wasn't the color. Okay. What I've got to do with these two is I've got to figure out which ones are the metallics and which ones are not. Because there are so many, you can't tell just by looking at them, so it's once you get them onto the paper that you can tell. So I think after this I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend some time here this morning figuring out which ones are metallic, which ones aren't, etc., etc. So I just thought, you know, you might like to see these things in action. I'm adding a little blue here. Maybe some of you have some of these paints. I don't know. And then what we're going to do is I'm just trying to finish up this little drawing that I had done some time ago and get this one finished. Choosing some different colors here. Using this little palette thing to sort of figure out what in the world I've got. And that one had a little red in it, so that's nice. We'll mix that right in with everything else. And I'm using a round brush, which has a really nice point, actually. And I like to, you know, wiggle my leaves around as well, make them not so generic. So that kind of works nicely. And I think we'll add these over here. Oh, my hand's doing its own thing this morning for some reason. Okay, put those, just sort of adding things in here. And then I think we'll come over here to this little, whatever it is, and we'll make that a green. These little dots, I put these little dots, whatever you want them to be. All right, I think that we will come over here and we'll get some yellow ochre. There's several yellows, there's several of everything. So, I believe I'm still in the camera. So I put the point down and then I come up, point down, press and come up. That's how those work. And then I think right here, we're just going to add, I'm going to use water first this time and add another one of these big leaves, but in a different color and maybe a different color combination. This is like a, and a different type of leaf altogether. I'm not doing the jagged edges on this one. And I'm leaving some nice white spaces, some nice highlighted spaces. I seem to have this clicking noise going on someplace in this room. And I actually just can't seem to figure out where it's coming from, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Let's add a few more things onto this one here. This little area. Oh, I know what it is. It's my little paint sitting on this metal stand. Oh, jeez. I'm thinking, what in the world is making all this little clicking sound? Oh, jeez. Welcome to Thursday, everyone. I hope you're going to do some painting in today or plan to do some at some point in time. So see, everything, though, works nicely on hot press paper. I mean, I was about to say one thing when it just occurred to me that no matter what I've ever used on hot press paper, it's literally golden. I love it. Really love it. When I first started, I just used a cold press, because I first started. And then I don't even remember exactly how I came upon the idea of, this is a metallic right here, came upon the idea of hot press, but I must have seen it somewhere and it caught my attention. And so I bought some, and like I said, that was it from that point on. That's pretty. That adds a real pretty, I'd say this is a metallic, maybe a metallic type bronze. So let's get a few more of those. It's a pretty color mixed in with these other colors, and we're going to layer right over like we just did. That's a fun thing to do, friends, is just layer over other things. Let it dry, of course. Well, you don't have to. If you don't let it dry, of course, things will just mingle all together. So that's your preference. But in this case, I'm letting those things dry. And then I got another color right next to it that is another metallic. And I'm going to add that right in. Oh, that's pretty. Make some different sort of leaves here. That's pretty, very pretty. I'm very happy with these paints so far. A little different, but I like it. I like the different. It's good and fun to try different things. I mean, I don't know that I would have come across them if they hadn't, bought them for me. But they just help support my art journey, and I think it's very nice and kind and wonderful. These ones this is, when I first started this painting, these were done with regular watercolor. I wanted to mention that. Everything else on the page, except for these 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're done. The rest of it's all done with these other types of watercolor paints. So, you know, I almost think that, well, one other thing I'm going to do, go in a little darker green here, and just sort of, that's a choice. You don't have to put those kind of things in, but I decided that I would. And come in here and a little darker on the bottom next to the other ones, which it would be, and on one side. Blend it in so it doesn't have the hard edges. I thought this was a very, very pretty arrangement. The other thing that could be done, and I want to see how dark this actually, these pigments get with, okay, that's pretty good. I want to add some nice, rich, dark greens in here as well. So that's pretty good. That's a nice, you know, just to get the dark into the into this as well, because you need to definitely get your darks in, and this is working actually quite nicely. That is with next to no pigment on these. So that seems to, and then you can come do something like this to do that as well, to what you've already, you know, put in. Just add some things onto them in different ways. This is all, you know, learning how to hold your brush and what to do with your brush, the different things your brushes can do. So these little green ones here are different than these green ones here because I used the brush differently. So I think that I'm going to call this particular little drawing that turned into a painting finished. No, you know what? No, we're not quite done yet. Okay, so, so I need to go into a dark red like, and I need to kind of get some contrast here a little more with this petal. Just kind of there, get some dark in with the, there, that's better, that stands out better. And we're going to go into the yellow and add that back into the center while it's wet, because it'll kind of bleed a little, which is what I want it to do. And I actually think I'll go into this real dark. Oops, a little too much on there, but it's bleeding nicely, so I'm going to let that happen. And then I'm going to go into a nice, oh, you know what? I just realized, okay, I think I'm seeing more of how this little palette is set up. I think the metallics are all in one area. I guess I need to just sit down with the whole thing first. I wanted to get painting with it, but I guess it's better if I sit down and figure out, because I'm seeing that when I turn this a certain way, I'm getting the glitters. And I think they're all either in this whole section, although this orange right here, let's see if this makes any glitter. Oh, that's pretty. No, okay, so we have some, it's all kinds of, I think this is like a combination of different types of paints in this thing. How cool is that? I mean, there's no metallics up here, but over here there seems to be some different, almost like neon, like that's like a neon color. These ones here, if I go into this one, I'm trying to hold it so you can see it. If I put these in here, it's going to give me, it's metallic. And it's kind of like a pink metallic, which is really pretty. This one, oh, that was the, that's very, very, very pretty. Almost like a cut type of a coral, but it is metallic. So that's what's on my palette, folks. What's on this palette. Go continue out like that. And I think I'm going to have to really just kind of sit down and figure that out. Oh, well. Okay, so I think it came out really pretty. Let me know what you think. And again, these paints, looks like my camera is working well with this. These were the paints again, or are the paints again. And again, they come in this cute little, nice nifty tin, like with the plastic inserts. So perfect for taking traveling and out to parks and things like that. When I do that plein air painting, these will be perfect. I always have this little jar. I keep those, well, any jar that I have that is little, whether it be plastic or glass. I did have a glass one that was an old L'Oreal cream, you know, little jar, just, you know, little, about this big, about that high. Perfect for taking out for painting. But I just finished up some watercolor grounds, so I have another little plastic one, which is lighter weight in the bag and so forth to carry. So a few little tips there and little quick information things that you might want to know, you might not want to know, but that's what my channel's all about. So try it out, do what you like, do whatever you have to do. You can zoom in and zoom out and all that, and slow it down and all that to try to figure out what's happening down on the page. And don't feel pressured to do a whole painting at once. If you only want to do a leaf, do a leaf. If you only want to do a flower, do a flower. A leaf like this. No pressure. When you first learn anything, it's good to go slow, learn the art. Go slow with it all. Don't pressure yourself, because watercolor painting is the most therapeutic painting I've ever done. And I absolutely love it now. So it took a while. Everything takes a while. So give yourself that time, you know, to be able to teach yourself, or if you have someone helping you, whatever. But this doesn't happen overnight. You have to, you know, learn some techniques, do some of my exercises that I have. I've got quite a few exercises on some of the videos to help you to get, you have to get muscle memory in your hands to work, you know, with holding the brush, with moving with the brush, and the different things you do with the brush. I mean, there's so many things. So you want to be able to, you know, when you're ready to do it, like when you're ready to do that leaf, you can just do it. When you're ready to do that flower, you can just do it. You don't have to, it just all comes from the head down to the hands onto the paper. And that's what practice does for you. So I hope you have a most wonderful rest of your day, folks, and bye for now.